Tracy with BeCozi.net is here. BeCozi.net and BeCozi.com is an American website with the biggest collection of chunky yarns for hand knitting. We're making this video to promote our yarn. And our yarn is not available in any craft store, but you can easily buy it at BeCozi.net or BeCozi.com. If you live in Holland, Michigan, you are welcome to stop in our office. And if you're visiting our beautiful town, especially now during summertime, we're happy to see you here. Just drop us a note and we will be here if we are not here on most days in summer. So today I will be using this beautiful oatmeal color and I will be showing you how to make a flower cable pattern. So I've showed how to make flower cable pattern before. There is a video on our YouTube channel. We have, by the way, 270 videos as of today because I am the creator of hand knitting style. I created it back in 2015 when nobody heard about hand knitting. I created the biggest number of different kind of patterns, so you can see most of them on our YouTube channel. So I showed flower cable before, but in that pattern I also used a little zigzag like a snake in between of the flower cables. This flower cable has only flower cable lines and lines of purl stitches. It looks a little bit different. I really like this pattern, and this is our most popular blanket that we're selling in our store. We're also selling blankets, not just yarn. So if you want to make this beautiful blanket, this size is 40 by 60. You will need 9 skeins, guys. If you need tight, and if you need a little bit looser, then 8 skeins of BeCozi Chunky chenille yarn. If you want to use different yarn, I don't know how much yarn you will need because all skeins are different. BeCozi Chunky chenille, 8-9 skeins for size 40 by 60, flower cable. Let's get started. Okay guys, let's get started. So we are using this beautiful oatmeal color BeCozi Chunky chenille. You can buy this yarn at BeCozi.net or BeCozi.com. It goes on the same website. So we're taking off our label and now we will be looking for the end that is usually hiding one of the sides over here. So now we're taking the yarn and I used to make a knot on the end to prevent unraveling, but now I'm just using my little lighter and I'm burning the end a little bit, and that will prevent yarn from unraveling and when you're using it, specifically when you're washing it, because these blankets can be washed. So we also need scissors, and that's pretty much it. You just need your hands. So place the yarn like that in front of you. This is the tail. This is working yarn. Working yarn goes on the top to make a loop. Insert your hand inside the loop. Grab working yarn. Now take these 2 strings together and pull loop up until you make a first stitch. So this is your first stitch, and then you can pull this working yarn down to make it a little bit small. So you need it to be about 1 inch, maybe a little bit over 1 inch high. Now insert your hand inside this first stitch, grab working yarn and pull it out. So we now have 2 stitches and try to make them about the same size. See, they are the same size. And now I will press the bottom of the second stitch, insert my fingers inside this second stitch, grab working yarn and pull it out. So we have 3 stitches, and I will keep casting on this way, 1 stitch by another, until I have 28 stitches. This pattern requires more stitches than usual because it's the such kind of pattern, and like it will be 40 inches wide, And for 40 inches, I usually start blankets with 25 stitches, but for this guy, it will be 28, guys, okay? So we made the beautiful chain, we cast it on, and now we will count, we need 28. So we're counting by these bumps, or here in the middle, whatever works for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 21, and we need 7 more. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. We have 28 stitches, guys. That will again make us a medium-sized blanket with the width of 40 inches. It will be about 41 if you're needing like I do with the medium tightness. So now turn it on another side like that. And now working yarn goes on the back. And now we will start pulling out our first row. So this is our first stitch, and we will go from underneath. Insert your fingers, grab working yarn, and pull it out. Here we are. This is your first stitch over here. Now we will be using these bumps in the middle. This is the middle part of the stitch. So this way, that's why we turn it on another side, the cast on chain, because this way, this chain on the bottom will be on the bottom of the blanket. That will look really nice. So here we are. We have top part of the stitch bottom. We're taking the middle part. We're lifting it, inserting our fingers, grab working yarn, and pull it through. Now, second stitch, the same. Not the top, not the bottom, the middle part. Lift it, insert your fingers, grab working yarn, pull it out. Try to make the stitches, guys, of the same height. See, they're all the same height. If you are a beginner, it might be not as easy, but with some practice, you will definitely get there, and you will be able to do to make all stitches of the same size. So I will keep I will keep knitting the first row, pulling out the first row, and then when I'm done, I will come back and I will show you how to start the pattern. Okay, guys, we're back. So we are done pulling out our first row. See, all stitches about the same size. Now we have this last stitch left over here. We are knitting it the same way. So what are we doing now in the next row? In the next row, we're starting our pattern, and the first stitch we are knitting the same way as we were pulling out, the first row. So you insert your finger, grab this working yarn, and now working yarn goes in the opposite direction. We're knitting to the right, so working yarn is laying in the direction to the right. So insert your fingers, grab working yarn, pull it out. This is your first stitch. Now, next 2 stitches, yarn goes over, and we are purling these 2 stitches, okay? So we knitted this one, now we're purling. We're taking the stitch, and then we're taking the yarn, working yarn with the other hand, and we're pushing this yarn through. See, this is the purling stitch. Second, the same way, take the stitch, then take the yarn, push it through. Here we are. We just had 2 stitches purled. Okay, so now we are starting our flower cable. For this purpose, yarn goes on the back again because this will be knitted stitches. Now, this 4 stitches will be creating a cable, and these first 2 will be crisscrossed like that. So the second stitch goes on the top of the first one, and then you're knitting it. And then when you knit it, don't forget that there is the second guy over here hiding. So now you will need to knit this stitch Here we are. See, we just made this crisscross, and now we're moving here, and here we will be crisscrossing only in the opposite direction. So here, second was on the top to the left. Here, second will be on the top to the right, and we will be knitting the second first. So we're knitting the second stitch, and we are knitting then this one. See what we have here? We knitted 2 crisscrosses, and they were in the opposite direction. I will show you again in the next one. So now we are purling 2, guys. Okay, so yarn goes over, and then take the stitch in your left hand, and with the right hand push the yarn through the stitch. This is one stitch, and here the other one. So next 4, we're doing the same as we did here, 2 crisscrosses. Yarn's going on the back now, not up front. And here, second stitch goes on the top, and we're knitting second stitch. Then we are knitting first. Now, 2 next stitches, the opposite direction. Second goes on the top to the right, and we're knitting second on the back. Here we are. Now, 2 purled again. The next 4, the same way, guys. This first goes on the top, knit it, and then knit the one hiding on the back. And then this next 2 crisscross in the opposite direction. Second goes underneath, and you're knitting it first, and then this, guys, goes to the right, and you are knitting it second. 2 more purled, because between all those flower cables there will be 2 purled stitches, and then the same way, guys, second goes on the top. Then you're knitting first stitch that is hiding on the back. Now the second goes underneath, you are knitting it, and then this one on the top, and you are crisscrossing. 2 purl stitches, and then this stitch will be knitted. Okay, guys, so we just finished our row, and what we are doing now, we are knitting the next row. The next row will be starting this row, we will be skipping this stitch, and that is for creating a beautiful chain over here on the edge. If you're skipping first stitch, we will be skipping it here, and we will be skipping it on another side too. So now 2 purl stitches will be purled, and then we are simply knitting 4 stitches of this next stitches. You see they're purled, and this one knitted. So we are purling the stitches that were purled, and we are knitting stitches that were knitted. Here we are. So this row is kind of easy, because you don't need to watch where you're doing crisscross. You're just simply knitting and purling stitches according to how they are shown. So if they're shown like a little chain, it means it should be knitted. If it has little bump, it means it needs to be purled. Here, the last stitch, we are knitting. See, all the stitches will look like knitted. And then when we are starting this row, we are skipping our first stitch, guys, okay? So the same as on the right side, simply leaving your stitch here and going to the 2 purled. 2 purled, here we are. Now here we will be doing the same as we were doing in the previous, or in the first row, not in the previous, the first row when we started the pattern. This second stitch goes on the top, you are knitting it, then you're knitting the one on the back. Now here, second one goes on the top, so crisscross to the left, crisscross to the right, and then you're knitting these 2 crisscrossed stitches. Here we are. That is how our beautiful flower cable is formed. So let me show you again. These two pearled. I like to do it this way because this way it's separated. This flower cable is separated. Some people are knitting just flower cable, flower cable, flower cable. I don't like it because then you don't see the beauty of this flower cable. So anyway, 4 stitches, crisscross to the left, crisscross to the right. Knit second, first, then first stitch, and here you're knitting second first, and then first stitch. Here we are. See what we're doing here? And that's the whole pattern, guys. We will just keep knitting this way. We will be creating this pattern. The pattern is literally created every time you are knitting from the left to the right. And when you're knitting from the right to the left, you are simply knitting stitches as is. You're not making the pattern. You are just simply knitting stitches as is. Pattern is created when you're knitting like we are now from the left to the right. So here we are. We're almost done with our next row. And now we will be purling this two and knitting this last stitch. See, this beautiful chain is forming here. And now the stitch is just sitting here, and we are going back to the second one. We are skipping our first stitch. And as I just mentioned, now this row from the right to the left, you are simply purling purl stitches and then knitting stitches. If you want to make this blanket in 2 colors and 3 colors, that's possible too. You can use a few different colors. It will look really beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful patterns, guys. One of the most popular, and everybody likes blanket made with this pattern. So here we are. We simply knitted all stitches as is. Now we are knitting our last one. See this beautiful chain? And now we are back to continuing our pattern. Yarn goes on the back. We are purling 2 stitches the same way, guys, as we did before. Second goes on the top. You are knitting second. Then you are knitting first. Here on the opposite direction. Crisscross, knitting second, knitting first. So that's what I will be doing. I will keep knitting this way. And blanket 40 by 60 usually requires 7 skeins. For this pattern, you will need 8 or even 9 skeins, depending how tight you are knitting. And this pattern requires a little bit more yarn. So here we are, guys. See these beautiful flower cables? So when I am done with all my yarn, I will need to connect it, and I would like to show you how I am connecting the yarn, okay? So the most popular and the easiest way is to connect 2 ends by a simple knot, like that. So just making a knot, then pulling it in 2 opposite directions until you feel that there is nowhere to pull. And then you cut these tails close to the yarn. And here you are done connecting the yarn. If you want to try burning method to do it, then you will need to have a lighter. You are lightening this left side of the yarn and then you are connecting this second part and push it toward each other and wait for a few seconds because it's really hot there. Don't touch it. Just wait a little. And then when you wait a little bit, then you can try to kind of rub it together and to make that little connection side in the middle as small as possible. So here we are. Then press it and hold it for a little bit, and here we are, we connected. And then pull it, and if it's holding, then you connected it right. That's how the yarn is connected, guys. So I will keep knitting, and then I will come back and show you how to finish this blanket. Okay, guys, so we are done with this beautiful blanket. Look how gorgeous this blanket is. Isn't it beautiful? I love our oatmeal color. It's just one of the most popular. Everybody likes it. And I used almost 9 skeins for this blanket. And now I left some yarn for casting off. Usually it should be at least 3.5, even 4 widths of the blanket. So you're keeping 1, 2, 3, and like and a half, almost 4. And that's what we will be using for casting off. For casting off, you can do it from the right to the left or from the left to the right. It's the same process. You are taking the first stitch, and I'm actually making one extra stitch here. I'm making it because then the turn or angle of the blanket will be very nice and not like rounded, and it will be much more beautiful this way. So you made extra stitch, and then you put your fingers inside it, and then you add the second stitch to this one. So you now have 2 stitches on your hand. Now grab this working yarn and knit them together. Here we are. See what I was telling you? This one extra stitch made this angle really beautiful. So now keep it here and add your fingers inside the first stitch, add another stitch, and then pull the working yarn through 2. You just made 1 stitch from 2, and that's what casting off is. You are knitting 2 stitches together until you are done with all stitches, and you're creating this beautiful chain on the top of the blanket. So I will keep doing it until I reach the end, and then I will come back. Okay, guys, see, cast off is done. We have this beautiful chain here, and we have a little bit of yarn left to finish this beautiful blanket. So I will try to make it enough. So this is our 2 last stitches, and this is a little yarn that we have left. So we need to make a stitch from these 2 stitches, and then this tail will go inside this last stitch, and then we will pull the yarn like that. That's all we have left, and this end can just go underneath any stitch to hide it. You will not really notice it because chenille yarn is so soft and fluffy. Here we are. So this is our blanket. This is the top of it. And on the bottom, there is a beautiful chain. Like I told you, when we're making it this way, when we're flipping the chain, that's what we are aiming for, beautiful chain. We also have these gorgeous chains on the sides. See, it's really beautiful. So this beautiful blanket in oatmeal color. You will not find this color in any store. So if you watch this video, don't run to the store. They don't have this color. Oatmeal color is available only at BeCozi.net or BeCozi.com. We also have Jumbo Chenille in oatmeal color. Jumbo Chenille is thicker and fluffier, and Jumbo Chenille is custom made. You can find it only at BeCozi.net, and go to BeCozi.net, get our yarn, make this beautiful blanket, and stay warm and be cozy. Hey guys, Larissa with BeCozi.net is here. I would like to introduce my hand knitting book. The book was published in September 21, and recently it was also published with the Christian Publishing Agency. It's available on our website and also available on Amazon. This is the only book on hand knitting on the craft market. It's extremely unique and very beautiful book explaining hand knitting, giving you history of our company, how hand knitting was born, and then it also gives you a few patterns, simple patterns with a very detailed pictures how to make every single step on the way. Go to the link underneath this video and purchase this book, and let's hand knit.